We are, it is 7:03, so I am calling to order tonight's council meeting. Excuse me. Yeah, we are calling this meeting to order. Thank you. So let's, let me look at the agenda here. What goes first?
Roll call.
Roll call goes first. So, Councilperson Cameron.
Here, present.
Councilperson Koss.
Present.
Councilperson Bruger.
Here.
I am Council President Wolf, and I am for sure here. Councilperson Shrestha.
Present.
And Councilperson McNamara.
I am present as well, sir.
Okay, and anybody who cares to, now's the time where you can stand up and pledge your allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we have one set of minutes prepared for our approval. That would be June 23rd council meeting minutes. Anybody moving to approve?
Move to approve.
Huh?
Move to approve.
Okay, we have Jason moving and Councilperson Koss seconding.
I just want to do this. Can I do that?
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions?
You can do it as much as you like, it just doesn't mean anything.
Okay, well, you know, some people like to do that. Moving on down the line to village official reports. We'll take it at the top of the list here with Chief Matt Delp. Take it away.
Thank you, Council President Wolf. You all received a copy of the report. I don't have anything additional at this time.
Very good. Anybody got any questions for Chief Delp? No? Super efficient. Fiscal Officer Jeffrey Wilczek.
Thank you, Council President Wolf. On the agenda, or to be added to the agenda tonight, is an ordinance for supplemental appropriations. There was a request that I received very late, so it didn't make the agenda, for some additional funding for supplies and materials for the concessions at the pool. That is in this supplemental appropriation. I also added $5,300 for property taxes on property that we have to pay the tax on at this point. My understanding is it may still get exempted. If it does, then we will get a refund of what we pay out. In talking with the county treasurer, we are at a point where there is a 10% penalty on it for not paying. I have a form that I will fill out requesting that the penalty be waived, and we'll go from there on that one.
Fingers crossed.
And that's accepted by the board.
All right, good to know. Citizens' comments.
Mayor, you didn't say what happened to the mayor tonight.
She's not present.
You didn't say that.
Nor did we say that, you know, mayor is actually not required to attend this meeting.
Okay.
Okay.
Doesn't she? Okay.
Moving on down the line to engineer Mike Flickinger, man of the hour.
I think council has my report. Don't really have anything to add unless there are questions that people have, and I can
That's
answer.
super efficient. Anybody have questions specific to Mr. Flickinger? No? Okay. Yeah, I was looking forward to one of those long task by task kinds of things, but if that's not what we got, we'll keep on going. I will love a quick meeting. Village Council, Legal Counsel Jesse Sham.
Thanks, sir. Two quick items. Just to piggyback off Mr. Wilczek's statement about the tax exemption. I feel confident at least in that 10% penalty being refunded because the delay was essentially on their end answering me about whether or not we need to pay it now or later. So if we need to, I'll talk with the county treasurer. I think that'll be a reasonable solution. And second, as I emailed everybody, with the expiration of the pandemic-related exemption to Ohio's Public Meetings Act, I'm recommending that we do all meetings, committee, work session, anything that has more than a quorum of council in person. Moving forward.
Cool.
That's all.
We'll take that under, as your advice. All right, anybody have any questions for Jesse? Nope, okay. Village planner, Eric Fisher.
Thank you, Council President. Nothing beyond the homework that was assigned to me in work session. I'll have those sent out emails over the next several days. Only major news is bid is going back out tomorrow for the building. So,
Okay.
and we, fingers crossed, third time's a charm.
Third time's a charm. Okay. Yeah, the zoning officer's report is in the packet, I do believe. Anybody have any questions we want to enumerate now that we might maybe get planner Fisher to communicate back for us?
I have a question for Eric. When it comes to this, is there anything that we can do to kind of get the word out, just so more people can bid on our project, or is there anything else that you think we can do? As
If you can
opposed to-
cancel the Intel project, that would help significantly.
I mean, I'm not that
Congress is
good.
working on that pretty good.
It's not gonna stop those guys. But aside from anything
It's
back-
delayed, is that good enough?
No, it might actually,
be a help.
that might,
It might
that actually
help.
may help us right in the window, yes, so that's why we're trying to get back out.
Okay. Okay, moving on, planning and zoning is next, that is me. Our next meeting will be, Eric, do you know when it is scheduled?
It's coming up, I think
for?
it's this upcoming week, so it should be on the 20th.
All right, so July 20th, and we are discussing code review chapters.
Joyous time.
Super exciting. MPCA report from Councilperson Tresta.
So they just had their meeting last night. As you all know, their first official Pride was absolutely amazing. So again, they wanted to just say thank you to all the volunteers, all the vendors that were there. And again, thank our police officers that were present. Next year, their Pride is going to be the same last Saturday in June. Right now, they're meeting to kind of see what they want to change, how they want to grow for next year, and they're really excited about that. We are in talk with NPCA about their swag situation. We both, kind of talked about having merch, hoodies, stuff like that. We're just kind of working through some of the legal stuff about that. So it's in the works. Family Fun Night this Saturday at 5 o'clock, or not 5 o'clock, the admission is $5, but it is this Saturday. There will be beer, hot dogs, and lots of fun stuff. If you guys never seen it or been there, it's amazing.
I think the times are 5 to 9.
Is it 5?
I think 5, I mean, I'll look it up real quick, but.
Pretty sure
Do
5
that.
to 9.
I should have wrote that down, so I appreciate that.
5 at 5.
They have a movie night, August 13th. The location is to be discussed. It was at the pool the last time, but I think it's hard when you get a whole bunch of kids there when they need to use the restroom and stuff. So we're thinking about other areas. September brings their block party, garage sales, so lots of fun stuff for NPCA. But right now they're working on a lot of internal stuff, rolling out their online membership drive, and just showcasing all the stuff that their new website can do. So,
And Councilperson Trust, just to confirm, it is 5 to 9. I pulled it up off their site.
thank you so much.
Not a problem.
Come see me at the beer tent.
And I was gonna say, I went to the meeting last night. I think the ask is gonna be for movie night that they have it out here so that they have access to the restrooms.
Yeah.
Cause that was an issue with the last one with the pool closing, so.
Makes sense.
Well, you were there, Diane.
Yes,
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
All right, following that up is Finance Committee, and that one's on me.
Did
Finance-
you skip
Oh, I
communications?
did skip communications, because it's Nicole, Councilperson Trust, another game.
Okay, so
My bad.
again, we're working with NBCA for the swag stuff. Email, I know that you guys have, heard me talk a lot about the email thing that we were looking into. We did a demo and I think we can do a couple other different things, get what we need from it at a lot cheaper of a cost. So me and Marv is actually meeting on Monday to kind of go through, using other services, that'll let us achieve what we need to achieve, having an email alert system at a fraction of the cost. Survey. I know in the last meeting I did talk to our village planner. I do want to get that rolled out, so I would encourage anybody, if there's stuff that you want included in that survey, send those over my way. I'd like to kind of get that geared up and get that started, because I'd really like to do that. Coffee with Council, thank you guys for coming, it was absolutely amazing. The next one's gonna be late August, start of September. We're gonna have like set topics this time, but I think we're kind of just working out the bugs, you know what I mean? Time-wise, how do we do that, how do we make sure everybody gets a chance to speak? So, again, we're working those out. School supply drive, and I'm so excited for this. I've been so excited to say this all day. So, Lieutenant Phillips came to me and asked me, our communications department, to team up with the MPPD. And we are doing a school supply drive from the 13th, just a few days ago, until August 6th. Last day, they will have Pancakes with Police, where Chef Delp will have his chef hat on, making pancakes, and it's open to the public. The school supplies will be handed out that day. Our goal is 200 students. He will be, he'll be handing out pancakes, but again, that event, I want to reiterate that is open to the public. I just got off the phone as I walked in this meeting. The nonprofit Sahara Columbus has donated 35 filled elite backpacks already to our cause.
Cool.
So that is absolutely amazing. And a couple stylists from Urban Wash Salons will be giving free haircuts to all the children picking up supplies.
And with that, are we looking for donations for the pancakes or just handing them out?
No, we're looking for school supplies.
Okay.
Anything off
Bring some school
those
supplies, get a
three lists.
pancake.
Yeah, and you get pancakes.
Yeah, get a pancake.
No,
Pancakes for school
they're
supplies.
distributing the supplies at the pancake breakfast.
But everybody is
So
welcome.
if you want to donate, you gotta donate before the pancake breakfast.
Gotcha.
And is the request for supplies, or is it request for money so that we can pool the purchase to get supplies?
Supplies, backpacks, any supplies that's on those lists, whether it be
Got it.
Heritage, Hawthorne, or Minerva Brands.
And those lists have been posted already,
Yes, they
they're in the
have.
comment section of the post that's on.
And before another week or
PCI.
two's out, if you're at Walmart, you should probably see colored flyers, because
Everywhere.
Westerville Schools puts those out like, hey, if you have a middle school kid, if you have an elementary school kid,
Yep.
this building, that building.
In the next 2 days, we got a couple short videos, we got a couple flyers and graphics that's gonna go out, so you guys will have a lot more information in the next couple of days.
All right.
That's it for me.
Cool.
16th, correct?
August 6th.
August 6th.
9 to 11 a.m. I should have said that.
All right, Communication Committee, thank you. Let's move on to Finance Committee. Finance Committee's last meeting was dedicated to the tax budget, which we had a delightful public hearing about immediately preceding this meeting, and it will be on our legislative agenda for the night. We'll meet again next month, I'm sure. Streets, Councilperson Cost.
Streets is trying to meet with our engineer hopefully this week just to discuss what's going on, how to wrap everything up there, and then talk about the Jordan Road project and how we want to move forward with that in a fiscally responsible manner that is also time sensitive.
There you go. Community, Councilperson.
When's that next meeting? Sorry.
We don't know yet.
Gotcha.
Somewhere this, because I would like Tiffany to attend too, so we're trying to work through everybody's schedule. It was supposed to be this week, but I got slammed at the hospital, sorry.
Understandable. If we had a date, was gonna write it down, and if we don't, I'll keep my ears open.
Any other questions for Councilperson Cost? Oh, all right, then Councilperson Camera for Community Committee.
Yeah, so, not much to add from Saturday till today, but, there is an appropriation that I talked about on Saturday that's, will be added to the agenda. I guess we need to make that motion at some point.
Yeah, what we'll do is, after the two legislative items that are on the agenda, I'll make a motion to amend the agenda to add that
Perfect.
to it.
And I will point out, we have our Diversity Week banner displayed back here today, so several weeks of asking people to come in and bringing it by the pool and whatnot to get people's handprints. So it's cool to see the prints and the pets and whatnot on there that make up our community. So
Very cool.
thank you all who did that.
Any questions for Councilperson Camera? No. Safety, Councilperson McNamara.
The most recent meeting was on June 27th, where, among other things, we discussed the animal, I believe it was the animal defecation
to discuss, or was that the community, or the work session? Get my dates mixed up.
I think we did a lot of it in the work session.
It all runs together.
Yeah, that is before us now. There is currently not a meeting scheduled, but if there's a need that is arising, I'm happy to schedule one.
Okay. Any questions for Councilperson McNamara? Okay. Then moving on, Legislative Committee report, Councilperson Brooker.
All right, our next meeting is on the 21st. No, let's try the 28th before the next council meeting at 6. What we've been working on recently was dog waste, and we do have an ordinance to do a first reading on that. Our other big sort of concern or topic to kick around has been a fireworks ordinance. As people know, the state made fireworks legal on certain days, Class C fireworks that is, on certain days, allowing municipalities to opt out. We have not done that yet. At legislative meetings, of course we don't vote on things there, but we've only had maybe definitely two council persons express concern or a desire to opt out of legal Class C fireworks. I have not moved anything forward on it because with only two people showing interest, two council members showing interest in reversing that, it doesn't bring much sense to bring it to full council for a vote.
We love hearing feedback though.
Yeah, and if that changes, if people get convinced, we'll keep it on there and that can be an ongoing thing. Moving into actual legislation tonight.
Mayor's report, citizens comment.
Oh, that's right, mayor's report, which we don't have our mayor here, so unless you have one, do you have something typed up? All right, we have.
Straight from wherever the mayor may be. The mayor was nice enough to send to me their mayor's report. And so I will read that at this time. This is the mayor's report for July 14th of 2022. Item number 1, addresses. A friendly reminder, code requires that house numbers be plainly visible and legible from the street or road. The second saved by having your address easily seen by first responders could save your life. We are researching options that include painting numbers on curbs and reflective vertical signs that could be attached to a mailbox post. Blendon Township has partially subsidized programs like this in the past. We are looking into this. Number 2, National Night Out. This event is scheduled for Tuesday, August 2nd from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. Representatives from several first responder organizations will be present along with food trucks. To name a few, Swenson's, Soul Crave, M&S Grub Hub, Petrella's Camion della Pasta, Funnel Cake Station, and J-Pop's Artisan Popsicles. We will also be raffling off premium family pool membership along with some other pool themed goodies. Council members and residents are encouraged to attend for a great evening of fun and community fellowship. And item number 3, East Shore Court Project, 2021 storm sewer project, aka East Shore Court, is nearly complete. There are a few minor details to be finished, touch-ups, landscaping things, etc. The village has received several reports from affected residents stating their pleasure with the project. And that concludes the mayor's report. At this time, we open the floor to citizens in attendance. If you'd care to address council, please step up to the podium. Please state your name, your address for the record, and you have 5 minutes.
Diane Stroh, 2595 River Lake Road. Good evening, everyone. I wanted to just take a moment of silence in gratitude that East Shore Court is coming to a conclusion after all those years. Mike Flickinger finally did it.
Probably the happiest I've ever been with a substantial completion.
There's more coming.
Okay, secondly, in terms of, since you mentioned fireworks, I'm the more skeptical that they're gonna fire them off anyway. It's gonna be really hard to run around figuring out who's doing it. And so I just, though I agree with, I feel bad for dogs, cats, and people who are, it's just, I don't think there's a whole lot we can actually affect by doing it. That's my opinion on that one. And then finally, regarding, there was an email that was sent by Lisa Craddock. I do help her occasionally with gardening stuff. And we, I think it's there's a long history of Minerva flora, and you know, and I don't think anyone has all of the information about it because people have come and gone. I have pieces, I probably don't have all the pieces. But the bottom line is that there's just, it used to be a volunteer activity when the village was small and they didn't really have the means to make to dress it up, and there were a lot of passionate gardeners who wanted to volunteer. And it was great, everyone was grateful because we didn't have the money. And so now the people that are, the passionate people are getting old, and you know, it's something we feel like the village can take on now and should take on now. And I'm a very pragmatic in terms of maintenance. So if some of these areas that used to be lots of pretty flowers, no one wants to maintain them, then turning them back to grass may be the best thing to do because they can just weed whack the areas and be done with it. But I would like to say, hopefully I have a few more seconds here. Hopefully I would like to say that that I would be willing to see if there's an interest in forming a committee of residents that could, for the sole purpose of researching what can be or could be done, vendors or services that could be used, recommendations on what areas could be planted versus left to go. And we could work on this year for the budget for next year, and I would be happy to do that if it's wanted. That's it.
Thank you very much. Anyone else?
Tony Benedetti, 2937 Berry Lane Court. You know, I listened to the Saturday morning work session, and I've never been so upset after listening to a meeting than I was Saturday. You know, and I like to, you know, the point I'd like to make to council is that the information that you're getting from your village officials, your experts in the field, is flawed. You know, Jesse, I don't know where he came up with it doesn't need to be a public meeting because there's no voting going on. The public laws, rules haven't changed a bit. It's always been that those work sessions, if there's, the rule is if there's 4 members of council coming to a predetermined meeting, it has to be open to the public. It's that simple. You know, the confusion comes into play when you got a committee meeting where it's only scheduled to have 3 people there before people show up. So there's some confusion to that about, but the short answer is that Jesse made a mistake about something that I consider to be government 101 and what public meetings will have to be, the public meeting laws. Then we go on to, and Eric Fisher, he's an expert in everything. He's an expert in the Humane Society's rules about dogs and how our laws apply to that. And he should have known that that meeting was, Saturday morning meeting should have been open to the public. You know, now, the thing that we need to start talking about here is the bid for the building. Why do we continue to do the same thing over and over again? Because this is, the person that's deciding this is Eric Fisher. Eric Fisher, I don't know what you did differently except to just put it out to bid again. You haven't explained anything to council about why are we just putting it out to bid again? Are we doing anything different, Eric? I'd love to hear a report. And that's where, Jason, you need to call a meeting to talk about the building. Because It's not, we have to take back control of this process from Eric, because the mayor has turned everything over to Eric. She's off in Jamaica, and Eric's the one that sat through that meeting and told everybody, you know, you shouldn't be calling the fire department. You can't start talking about the maintenance facility, because he's already got figured out that we're going to do something other than that. Guys, you got to wake up and smell the problems here. And it comes from our officials and the information they're getting. You know, Eric, I don't know where you think you come up with an understanding of the construction industry here in Central Ohio right now, but putting this thing out to bid again is just a waste of time. Because the problem is, this is a prevailing wage contract. Nobody in Central Ohio, it's been out to bid twice, no one's interested in it. There's the one company that turned in a $4 million bid is a company I've done work for in the past. I can guarantee you, all they did is say, this is a $2 million project, we're going to bid 4, see if they take it. If we do, we'll figure it out, because we're going to make a ton of money. The last guy was $3 million. He's from Worcester, Ohio. There isn't anybody here in Central Ohio that wants to mess with the prevailing wage contract. So we need to start talking about something different. I presented a drawing and a way that we could fix this building. We could start next week on the plan that I provided. And it's important that we start talking about getting this done without having to go through prevailing wage. I know a bunch of contractors who would love to get involved in this project, but it's prevailing wage. And they're saying, heck no, there's easier ways to make money here. Now, hopefully you'll have a meeting about that, Jason, because we need to talk about that, and like Diane's referring to, is a green space plan. Someone's got to have a plan for all the green space. That's what Diane's alluding to. It's been done by volunteers in the past. We got to do something. We got to come up with a plan. The mayor isn't going to do it. These two aren't going to do it. It's up to council and you guys getting together and having a meeting. Now, the thing that really upset me, David, is that in the meeting, we talked about the leash law and we talked about fireworks. These are safety issues, David. And you sat here tonight and said, is there anything going on that I need to have a meeting for? I'll be glad to schedule one. Dude, schedule a meeting. Let's talk about leashes. The only people I have confidence right now is Nikki and Jason. Because what?
Thank you very much for your time.
Hey, you shut me off before the alarm went off.
No, I didn't.
Oh.
Okay, moving on to tonight's legislation. The first thing I am going to do...
Yeah, why don't we amend the agenda and just get this?
Yeah, the first thing I'm going to do before reading any legislation is I'm going to move to amend the agenda to add ordinance 2022 to the agenda for this evening. Councilperson Camera seconds. Want to call a vote, President?
Well, no, that was just to amend the agenda to add it.
Yeah.
Now you need to read it and
Oh,
move
no,
for
but we
passage.
need to...
Oh,
I
sorry,
moved to
all in
amend-
favor. Sorry about that. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstains? All right.
Okay, so we have added that, I'll put that down, the third one since it's the highest number.
Okay.
Okay, going in order from the agenda there. Ordinance number 2022-19, an ordinance to amend the codified ordinance of the Village of Minerva Park to include section 618 and 1900's cleanup of the animal defecation. This is just a first reading. Long story short, what this says is if your dog defecates on any property other than your own and you do not clean it up, it is considered a minor misdemeanor. If you are convicted of that 3 times in a 12-month period, it will be upgraded to a misdemeanor of the 4th degree. There is also a provision in here for if you have animals defecating even in your own property, but it has built up to an unsanitary level. For instance, you just never clean it up in your backyard and it's starting to pile up, you can also be cited for that. First reading and read. Resolution 2022-16, a resolution to adopt the tax budget for the Village of Minerva Park, Ohio for the year beginning January 1st, 2023, and to submit the same to the Franklin County Budget Commission and to declare an emergency. This is our third reading of this. We did have an open public hearing right before this meeting where we did have some residents show up and ask questions on it. This is important to remember, is not the actual budget for the village, excuse me, but is rather a broad sort of swath look at what taxes we anticipate spending to justify to the county why we can levy taxes and what property taxes and things. This is a third reading, and I am going to move to pass it as an emergency.
Second.
Seconded by Jason there. All right, I think it's the roll call.
Okay. Just a second. All right, we'll start Councilperson Costs.
Aye.
Councilperson Tresta.
Aye.
Councilperson Cameron.
Aye.
I am Council President Wolf, and I am also voting aye. Councilperson Bruger.
Aye.
And Councilperson McNamara.
Aye.
All right.
Okay, on to what we amended our minutes for. This would be ordinance 2022, an ordinance to make the supplemental appropriations for the current expenses of the Village of Minerva Park for the year 2022, with an intent to waive the next two readings. This is an additional appropriation of $7,300. $2,000 of that is going to buy supplies and materials and food and whatnot for the pool concession stand. $5,300 is going for a property tax bill that we did not pay on time, mostly because we were not told on time, if I believe there was some of that going on. For those of you wondering why we pay property taxes as the village, some of the reserve areas like the park and the playground, we do still apparently pay top property taxes on, which is not something I do. And I see our fiscal officer about to say something. Go right ahead if you need to.
We're in the process and we're waiting for that property to be exempted, so we won't pay tax on it.
Because MI was paying taxes on it because they were a private institution. We took ownership of it. The taxes haven't been done. Thank you. That makes much more sense to you. Love it when we can get your opinions on the meetings. It's awesome. Okay, so that's that. I'm going to move to waive the second and third reading so we don't run out of ring pops down at the pool.
No, they're already gone.
Oh,
So I'll second that.
Oh, gosh. Ring pops.
Moved and seconded.
Yep. So Councilperson McNamara.
Was there a moment for discussion?
Oh yeah, we can discuss.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Do you want to discuss the waiving of the readings?
I'm fine with passing it because we need to, keep pool supply, but the passage date is listed as July 14th, year 2000.
Not on mine.
On mine it is. On my paper copy it is.
2020. I have 2022 on the paper.
On the final copy.
No, the past.
Oh, past. Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Unless we want to break out what's passed.
Yeah, that's fine. 2022.
I saw Barb shaking her head. She's got
Yeah.
that.
This is just the vote to waive the readings. We can call that out and approve as amended. I actually don't even think that's
Scrivener's error.
Huh?
That's a Scrivener's error.
Yeah,
It's not-
that's not anything we would need.
I just want to make sure that it was all.
But yeah, any other discussion on waiving of the readings? Then we'll go back to Councilperson McNamara.
Aye.
Councilperson Bruger.
Aye.
Councilperson Koss.
Aye.
Councilperson Cameron.
Aye.
Councilperson Tresta.
Aye.
And I am Council President Wolf, and I am voting aye. And now,
Having waived readings,
Yep.
I will move to pass this. This is an appropriation, so it does not need to be passed as an emergency. I will make a quick amendment that's already been discussed, just so it can be said out loud though, to change the pass date to July 14th, 2022. That's just fixing a typo, nothing big change. And I'm going to move to pass it.
Second. Dang it!
oh man.
And Councilperson Shrestha, seconds.
Took it right out of the.
Baby's mad, the baby's
Yeah.
upset now.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'll go first this time. As Council President Wolf, I am voting aye. Councilperson Shrestha?
Aye.
Councilperson McNamara? Aye. Councilperson Camera?
Aye.
Councilperson Gruger?
Aye.
Councilperson Collis?
Aye.
All right. And that looks like that concludes the reading and voting on legislation for this agenda. Moving on to old business. Does anybody have any old business they'd like to address? No? No? All right. Well then, moving on to new business. There was village administration, as was mentioned in the mayor's report, has a National Night Out event coming up. They have a small expenditure for things that they were notifying the council of, and they've asked for a motion of, support for that. So, anybody have language on that? No? Do you want to make something up, or do you want me to make something up?
Oh, I mean, I've had a discussion with them about what they're looking for.
Yeah, I mean, we don't need details. I think
Yeah.
just a motion saying we
okay.
support those efforts.
Gotcha.
And,
Go for it.
I'll go I am making a motion that the council expresses their support for the village's plans regarding National Night Out and any expenditures that won't require an appropriation at this time.
Second.
There we go. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Any abstentions? We got that dealt with. Any other new business?
I'm gonna, real quick, I'm gonna direct this at Diane out there. So just to follow up on what you were proposing tonight, are you looking for, if there's a desire for it, some sort of committee that would look for a sort of strategic plan to hire people to do maintenance and landscaping services and some of the things? Or were you looking to I would love to be part of a committee that tries to rouse up some new volunteers, or both, or is it sort of like figuring out what you want? I just wanted more details on that.
Sure. Well, it's an idea right now, and I'd like to, the idea would be to, in terms of the common areas where there have been flowers, where there's been an effort that's been kind of gone to weeds. I think there's a lot of common areas, especially in the old section of the village. And getting a group of people who are interested, there may not be a group of residents who are interested anymore. I mean, this is the point, is that, but what I can do, if you're interested, is just put my thoughts down in writing instead of that whole down here. And I could say, the committee could be looking at this, the committee could be looking at that. What would be most effective what does council think would be most effective for the village? And then I would go try to round up interest in residents helping to determine that. Whatever that is.
Yeah.
Is that looking for, is that deciding which areas should have flowers and which areas we should just plant grass? Is that looking for vendors who could do this work for us? Because, we tend to, like a lot of villages, we tend to have people that know how to weed whack and mow, but we don't necessarily have people who know how to identify plants. And then they tend to kill things that shouldn't be alive.
Yeah, for instance, you're mentioning Mrs. Craddock, she did the email and she's like, and these purple weeds, I'm like, the purple flowers?
Yeah. They look
I thought those were purple flowers.
Really bad invasive species. Yeah, it's really bad invasive species, but yes.
I'm gonna ask your opinion, you don't think milkweed's a weed.
Right, so maybe this group can also, if there's an interest, maybe this group can also be a small ongoing committee that could then advise about, if we do have experts in the village residents in terms of knowledge of plants, etc.
Well, I suggest writing something, get that down in writing, and I'm sure I'm not gonna sit here and make a promise that it's gonna happen, but we can definitely look into that. I know we have people on council who
Yeah.
take that
Send
stuff
it
pretty
to-
serious.
Send it to me and community will
Okay.
work with you on it.
Okay, because, yeah, I think that, because I think that's the, it is clear that, and this is fine, again, everybody's different, but it's clear that this council doesn't have a lot of passionate plant people, so, and the mayor is certainly not that either, she likes a mowed lawn, so, I get it. But, but those people who do have a passion, if they could be of service, and if there could be an economical way to have both come together, and so we can have some pretty areas, but not.
Yeah, the little thing across the street from me at the end of Maplewood's got quite a lot of thistles coming through those bushes and things down there.
I've gone to the volunteer when Lisa posed, I'm gonna be out here 6 times.
I agree, but Lisa
No one
does that.
shows up. I went there one, I've been there a couple times.
Well,
Just Lisa and Bob.
All right. So I'm gonna kinda cut that conversation off there. We can definitely have that, but we'll get back to the business.
Any other old business? Going once, going twice, all right, and I move we adjourn.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Hi.
All right, everybody have a wonderful day.
My brain's slowing down.
Nothing gets those juices flowing quite like an efficient meter.
I mean, I feel like it specifically says Caleb.
Yes.
Yeah,
See ya.
Yeah.
I think it falls in there. It's fine, I don't hate plants.
Do you know?
I love looking at good-looking plants,
Okay.
but I did not know those were weeds. As you saw from my email response.